I'll Come Running is another good song. It's in Long Hard Look. We have the first single. There are a lot of songs in here I think that could be singles, too. But the interesting thing is, Lou Gramm, we were talking about Foreigner, and we'll get to something in a little while. But, a lot of the newer listeners maybe know you as Lou Gramm, and then they say, well, what's the Foreigner thing with Lou Gramm? Because, as a group name, Foreigner is Foreigner.
Sure.
And not realizing that you were the voice. And but maybe they remember your first solo album.
Well, that
you
would
had
be
a
nice,
big
yeah.
#1 hit record. Maybe we should make sure we do that. Would you feel kind of awkward about introducing a #1 record that you had?
You mean Blue?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
Midnight Blue.
Yeah, here we are. Well, as long as we were talking about Foreigner, right on top of Midnight Blue, there's another one of the classics you guys did, and you have all those guitar players that you were mentioning. I guess, wouldn't it be safe, Lou, to say that a Jukebox Hero might be everybody trying wherever they are?
Absolutely. I think there's a lot of kids who live that song.
Yeah. And whether they're playing the dry guitar, the air guitar, or whatever it's called, or a real one in the basement, in the attic, or out in the garage, or down the street, I just have always loved it, and it just says so much. It's about what the whole industry is about.
Right, that's right.
Jim. And you were just mentioning some people that you used on your album, the new one now, Long Hard Look, and the different guitar players. So, and each one of them probably has an individual hero, or 2 or 3 or 4.
I'm sure you got to start somewhere. So
yeah,
you wear your influences on your sleeve and then go, right?
I guess one of the things I feel fortunate about, although sometimes I wish it hadn't happened, is that I don't play an instrument because I'm not prejudiced. But every time I've been involved with a group, if you talk to the keyboard guy, the rest of you don't exist. And the guy, with the guitar, and the drummer, I mean, nothing could happen without anybody, So now I can look and say, oh, man, he's great at them skins up there playing drums, and I love him on lead, I love him on bass, and this guy can really do something with the keys. And you look at Keith Emerson and you say, what the hell is he doing? He has everything. He has 6 boxes working over there, a grand piano and the electronics and everything. And you just appreciate it more, But yeah. I guess it keeps you from being prejudiced. But then you as a singer, I guess you have to really know if you got some music behind you, musicians, that it just really helps you a lot, doesn't it?
I mean, you got to feel it, or you can't do it the way it should be done.
I guess it would be frightening to step up there and you'd have Eric Clapton back there on one guitar, and you'd have Jimi Hendrix on another guitar, and you'd start something. That'd scare you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but if that's being scared,
scare me. Welcome.
Scare me.
Lou Gramm is our special guest here on the World of Rock. And Lou, let's talk a bit about some plans. Are the road things getting together and everything now?
Yeah, I think we're going to, I'm going to try and get together the people who helped me on this album. I don't know what guitar players I'm going to have. I can't have the 4 of them, I don't think. But we're setting our sights on March, April, and portions of May to do some touring in the States.
Great.
We'll probably be doing rock clubs and small theaters, 1,000 to 1,500 seats. We want to get close to the people and let them know what we're all about.
Great. I think that's wonderful. Well, that's one of the things we like to talk about here, and since we are all over the country, we can track you down, too, because we have concert reports from our stations that are following you, too, and it's good to hear from them, see what's going on in that particular city. So Lou Gramm will be out into the World of Rock live, and we got something good to look forward to. And I guess you'll do, what would you do on the road? I mean, you're going to do your songs here from the album and do Midnight and a couple of things. Would you do some other people's material that you like and some Foreigner?
I think so, yeah. I mean, if I've got a few other gems in mind of the caliber of Tin Soldier that I could pull from the past,
sure.
And I don't see any reason why a Jukebox Hero couldn't slide its way into the set.
Yeah, like you say, other people. I mean, Paul McCartney slips in a little Eddie, and a few other old Jims that were around that he used to like when he was a kid. So I think it's real good. I think the audience likes that when they get a different side and say, that's interesting. I didn't know Lou Gramm would like Eddie Cochran, or whoever it is, Or I never thought of that. Okay, he was one of my idols, and maybe you guys liked him too, and off you go and do it.
Surprises a lot of people.
Yeah.
But they're turned on in a big way, too, when that kind of stuff happens.
Before you get out of here, I want you to play Disc Jockey again and give the folks another listen to Long Hard Look, the LP. And so take off and pick a song for us.
Great. I'll do this kind of mysterious song. It's one that Bruce Turgan and I wrote together. It's called I'll Know When It's Over.
We're talking about songs in your new album, Lou Gramm. Why don't you? There's a title there that kind of strikes me. "Angel with a Dirty Face." What's that about?
Well, it's just not. It's a song about things not being quite the way they're perceived, and it's a song I wrote with Peter Wolf, and it's totally all strut and attitude.
Lou Gramm, it's been fun having you here on World of Rock playing disc jockey and getting to hear your album, Long Hard Look, a little depth. And interesting, we're talking about the tour, which I think will be excitement for everybody listening to know that you're going to come out to the
swinging.
towns and cities and get a good thing and get your musicians together. The healthy part is that Lou Gramm is going to tour with his solo album. The first solo album was a big success. This one is already off and running, so I think you got a real good idea. And when you guys have time after the tour, I know folks will be looking for a Foreigner project. You've said that's going to happen.
It's in the works.
So what can we say except it's just great having your talent around and knowing that you're busy.
Thank you.
And working with all the people. And, just Nils. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. You said Nils is a good friend. It must be just so much fun to go in there and do that because
fantastic.
That's out of your norm. Okay,
right.
When you get together as a group, you have that. When you go do other projects, and just as you said, like Mick is over, he worked with Billy Joel. That must have been a real trip, too.
That's gotta be.
I mean, producing something like that, it's just the challenges of a musician and of the artist.
Yeah, don't have to live the sheltered life. Just go out and do it.
But you said you're going to get out in probably March, April, May,
That's right.
June, and in there. So I marked that down. That's
okay.
Recorded and it's gone out of the show, so you're committed.
I'll be there.
Okay. Thanks, Lou Gramm, a lot for joining us here as
Thank
our
you.
special guest and co-host on the World of Rock.